So many people in this world today are tuned into the radio station WIIFM. You ever listen to that? WIIFM. What's in it for me? That's the lack of compassion. The person that's always worried about what's in it for me, and they don't worry about the other person, that's the reason you have bullying. That's the reason you're divisive in your political views. That's the reason that you have all this anger in the United States. We don't see the other person. All we're worried about is what's in it for me. And if there's not anything in it for me, it's called selfish. What do you think the opposite of compassion is? Selfishness. I care about no one but myself. When you look at people today, look at them with an eye for compassion. In the Bible, one of the most beautiful stories in the Bible is the Good Samaritan. A Jewish man was traveling on a trip from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he was attacked by bandits. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him up, and left him half dead beside the road. By chance, a priest came along. But when he saw the man lying there, he crossed to the other side of the road and passed him by. A temple assistant walked over and looked at him lying there, but he also passed by on the other side. Then a despised Samaritan. Now, let me put that in context. In the biblical times, the Jews hated the Samaritans. They were the group that they just despised. I mean, it was like the neo-Nazis and who they despise, or the blacks and who they despise. It's like in America today, and you have all the splinter groups that they have this one person they can't stand. Well, you can interject that name for Samaritan. And this Samaritan came along. The Samaritan soothed his wounds with olive oil and wine and bandaged them. Then he put the man on his own donkey and took him to an inn where he took care of him. The next day he handed the innkeeper a silver coin, telling him, "Take care of this man. If his bill runs higher than this, I'll pay you the next time I'm here." Now, which one of these three would you say was a neighbor to the man who was attacked by the bandits? Jesus asked. I would ask, which one of these three had compassion? You've got the priest. Well, you know they're going to have compassion. Obviously not. You've got the temple assistant, the deacon in the church, the Bible school teacher. That doesn't mean he's got compassion. And you've got the person you can't stand. The race of people, or the color of people, or the type of people that you can't stand. What does he do? Takes care of him, takes him to an inn, pays for his well-being, and tells him, "I'll come back and help again." What is that quality? What was the quality that the Good Samaritan had? Enthusiastic, patience, good listener, committed, purpose-driven? No, we don't know what else he had. But we do know several qualities he had. One was dependable. The innkeeper would not have allowed him to do what he did if he didn't think he would come back and pay him. So we know he was dependable. We know he was honest. But those are not the reasons he picked the man up and carried him to the inn in the first place. What was the reason? Compassion. Why do kids bully other kids? Why do husbands abuse wives? Wives abuse husbands. They have no compassion. They don't walk in their shoes. If we want to eliminate bullying in the schools, we need to teach compassion. Have them walk a mile in their shoes. We taught this in a school in Mesa, Arizona, and we taught it to a group of kids that had been troublesome kids in the school. And so I taught it for a length of time, and then I told the kids, I said, now then, you're going to start teaching it. You're going to teach these qualities to the other people in this class. And they were excited, and they did an awesome job. One of the students had compassion. That was his quality to teach. And he came in and he said, okay, here's what we're doing. I have no stories. Each one of you are going to sit with somebody today at lunch that before today you thought you despised. Don't care if it's based on religion, color, or whatever it is. Mesa High School is the most diverse school in the state of Arizona and the largest high school in the state of Arizona. So they all had plenty of, there are Muslims, there are Mormons, there are evangelistic Christians, there are blacks, there are Hispanics, there are Asians, there are South Pacific. I mean, you got everything in the world, and you're going to sit with one group that you despise. And then tomorrow you're going to come back and report on what happened. Well, they argued about it for a while, and then they finally, because I told them they didn't have a choice, they decided to do it. When they came back the next day, it was absolutely amazing to every one of them. They all had the exact same report. The report was, they're no different than we are. They would sit with a group that they despised, and they talked about the same exact things that their group talked about. Their conversations were no different. Their likes, their dislikes, they were no different. And the teacher, quote, teacher, asked him, said, what difference will that make in your life? Well, it'll make a world of difference in the way we treat those people. They're no different than we are. They go from 72 hours before despising somebody to 72 hours later, they're no different than we are. What quality did they develop? Compassion. That's what they developed. The quality of compassion. And that's what we need to develop today in all of our students. You need to develop the quality of compassion if you're ever going to be the best you that you can be.